Thank you, everyone. That's Mark Weisberg on bass.
Thank you.
Michael Kilhofer on drums. And I'm Phil Cadidlo. And we'd like to, first of all, thank you. We'd like to welcome you and thank Crooners for hosting what is the official debut of the Weisberg Pilhofer Cadidlo Trio. So, thank you, Crooners.
Thank you.
Hopefully, on your tables, you'll find we actually printed out a little playbill with the names of the tunes and the composers when we know them on that, just to kind of help you anticipate what's coming. And speaking of anticipation, that first song is called Anticipation, and it's written by Russell Ferrante of the group The Yellow Jackets. Maybe you've heard of them. The Yellow Jackets are just one of many groups that the three of us have a shared love for. There's a lot of musical history and variety amongst the three of us, which is kind of what brought us together. Besides the fact that Weisberg, Pilhofer, and Cadidlo sounds like, well, Mark's the senior partner, and so his name comes first. But besides that, we have a lot of history just playing together. Mark and I go back 30 years playing in pop bands, jazz groups, and so forth. Michael and I have only actually been playing together a couple of years, but we have known each other for a long time, and we have a lot of musician friends in common. But it's the shared affinity for just all kinds of music that brought us together. And as a trio, we yes, we're piano, bass, and drums, but calling ourselves a jazz piano trio doesn't quite get at it, because to me that sounds like you've got, you know, like a featured pianist with a bass player and a drummer, and we really kind of had this concept of trying to feature all three instruments as equal voices in the group, kind of a, you know, bass forward, drum forward sort of thing. So we pick a lot of tunes where you'll actually hear Mark at times, well, even on that first tune on Anticipation, the bass instrument as the melodic lead instrument and so forth. So we dug back into all of our catalogs, both old and new. One of the tunes that I brought to the group is something that I first heard back in 1978, and that was off of Bill Evans. Any Bill Evans fans here? Yeah, a lot of you know who Bill is. It was kind of late in Bill's career, but he had an album called Affinity, and he recorded a piece by another pianist named Phil Markowitz, and the piece is called Snow Peas. So we're going to play that in a moment, but we're going to go right from Snow Peas into another tune, so I'm going to let Michael introduce a little bit about that other tune besides Snow Peas.
Been playing drums for like 30 years, and this is the first time I think I've ever touched and spoken to a microphone ever to announce anything to anyone. Yeah. I will be honest that I don't even know how to pronounce this gentleman's last name, and I think I got to this recording of this Joel gentleman. He's a Swedish pianist in his late 20s and absolute brilliant player, and I just immediately fell in love with the song, and I think you will too. It has, to me, such almost a lullaby quality to it. Perfect for this environment. And then I think what's really interesting, and for those of you little nerdy musicians out there, there's this really cool little dissonant moment in kind of the B section that I think you'll appreciate. But this is just a beautiful tune. Hope you enjoy it, and thank you all for coming.
Bars of 3. 1, 2, 3, 2.
announcement. So this next tune, it's another Yellow Jackets tune, Bob Mitzer arrangement, written by Bob Mitzer. This is a funny tune because it's just a great groove and tune. And I picked it, and then I thought about, like, ooh, wait a minute, like, our job, as you'll hear in a second, is pretty straightforward, nice little groove to it. Phil, on the other hand, has some significant heavy lifting in this tune, so I'm thankful that he took the challenge. So this tune is called When the Lady Dances.
Thank you.
Last time you're going to hear from me tonight. Same wonderful pianist again comes back for one more tune. Same sort of, I would say, just that really open environment to just create a piano trio. But what I really enjoyed about this one that sort of moved me is just this really interesting sort of rhythmic motif that you'll hear comes back over and over again. So this is another tune from Joel L. from Sweden, St. Joseph.
One, two, three.
Weisberg on bass. Any Keith Jarrett fans in the audience? Oh, I like hearing that. So, well, okay. So I said I first heard Bill Evans back in 1978. It just so happens that I first heard Keith Jarrett back in 1978, a recording, not in concert, but it was a recording of his one of his renowned improvised concerts that he did in Japan called the Sun Bear Concerts. The album came out in 1978, and on the local radio jazz show, if you can believe it, it was on KQRS at that time. I love that show, and it's kind of, as I was cutting my teeth on jazz, I heard so much good music. But they played the first 6 minutes. Now, when Jarrett does an improvisation, he just sits down with a blank slate. He's truly a genius, and he sits down and just starts playing, and these pieces go on for 40 minutes, an hour, or whatever. In fact, they were so long that back in the era of the LP, they had to divide the concert, and they had to fade it on one side and continue it on the other. And this album came out. It was 10 LPs, this concert was. So they played the first 6 minutes of one of his pieces from his concert in Sapporo. And as an introduction to Keith Jarrett, this piece just grabbed me. It is one of those that has just sort of seared itself into my brain. But it was solo piano, and I thought, well, it's a piece that deserves to live on in other ways as well. So I said, I'm going to take even just a smaller portion of that first 6 minutes of Keith's improvisation. It's just rich with melodies and themes you'll hear, and I arranged it for the trio to play. So this is Sapporo. He called it Sapporo Part 1, but only because it would fit on one side of the album. So we'll just call it Sapporo.
someone saw something before.
Oh, it'll be fine.
Good evening. They've had me busy doing calisthenics back here between the two paces, so they finally let me out to catch a breather for a second. So, we lost a jazz giant in this past year, Wayne Shorter. And many of you know him. For those who don't, he was with Weather Report, who was famous for and just a ton of other really incredible music. There's a really wonderful documentary, by the way, if any of you have a chance. It's on Amazon Prime, all about Wayne Shorter and his life and his music. It's really worth seeing. But part of what they talk about is that he went through a phase when he met his wife, who was from Brazil, I believe. And he then immersed himself in Brazilian music and met up with Milton Nascimento, who's an amazing Brazilian singer and composer. And he did an album called Native Dancer, which if any of you have not heard, I strongly recommend that you hear it. It's really inspiring and wonderful. There's a song on that album called Beauty and the Beast that he does kind of as a straight ahead four, almost kind of rock funky kind of tune. So there's a Brazilian arranger composer named Antonio Adolfo, who took the song and made it into kind of a funky bossa that we really loved, and so we'd like to do for you now Adolfo's version of Wayne Shorter's Beauty and the Beast. Thank you. That was Michael Philhoffer on drums. And Phil Dillow on keyboards. So, I did a lot of work in Detroit for several years before I moved to the Twin Cities. And some guys are turning me on to this wonderful soprano saxophonist I had not heard of before, named Jerry Nywood. And he died kind of prematurely, but he was just an amazing player. And there was one particular song, we kind of have a joke amongst ourselves that we've been trying to challenge each other in this project to play as many songs in 3 as we see possible.
I think there's 5.
Yeah.
But all different forms of 3.
Why should this be an exception? So this is a song by the wonderful saxophonist Jerry Nywood entitled Joy.
I haven't looked at a clock here. How are we doing on time? Pretty good? All right. Well, we've got a couple more tunes here. One is by a man named Alan Pasqua. He's like a Steinway piano artist and a composer. And it's another piece, interestingly, in 3, but in kind of a different feel of 3, triple meter. It's kind of it feels sort of like somewhere between a 6 and a 3. But mostly it's just a beautiful piece by Alan Pasqua. After Alan Pasqua's called My New Old Friend, after that one, I'm going to do a song, yet again going back to the magic year of 1978. On this same jazz show, I heard a kind of a straight-ahead jazz tune it's just lived in my brain now for 40 years, and I can't find out who wrote it, who recorded it, what the name of the song is. So we just call it Mystery Song. I'm hoping that if we play for enough people, maybe somebody who knows more jazz repertoire than I do will recognize it, because it's from 40 years ago or more, so maybe one of you knows the song. So anyway, we will do the Alan Pasqua tune, and then Mystery Song.
you. One more. One, two, three.
So, gentlemen, is this our final song of the evening?
It is.
All right. I'm just tangled up over here. I think it's my own fault. There we go. Gotta see my notes here. All right, so before we play our last tune, we would like to again thank the entire crew and staff of Crooners and the Dunsmore Room. Can we have a round of applause for all the people here doing that? Helping us with sound tonight is Damon. Thank you, Damon.
Yeah, Damon.
We encourage you to get on the mailing list too here. There's so much good music going on here. So if you're not getting emails already or seeing the list of wonderful musicians that come through this place, make sure you get on that. You don't want to miss it. So our closing song is called Sweet Winds of Change, written by the pianist Billy Barber, who was he was a member. Actually, he was known for a couple of things. He wrote, I can't remember which soap opera it is he wrote a theme for. Anyone remember? There was some well-known soap opera he wrote.
Guiding Light.
Was it? Oh, okay, thank you, Mark. Mark is, yeah, the resident soap opera. In any case, more perhaps to the jazz world, he's known as part of the group that came out of the Twin Cities called Flim and the BBs. And so I actually first heard this song, though not on Flim and the BBs album. They did re-record it later, but it was originally recorded by the elder patriarch of the Pillhofer family, Herb Pillhofer, and on Herb's album called Olympus One. And Michael was reminding me there was a great big band arrangement that several of us probably remember playing in high school or college, whatever. So anyway, it felt like a song, given that we have a Pillhofer in the group. And it's just a great, fun, upbeat samba tune. So we're going to send you out with Sweet Winds of Change.
Two bars. 1, 2, 2.
Thank you. One more hand for Michael Philhopper on drums. Dorothy Goodlow on keyboards. And Mark Weisberg. If you twist her arm, we have one last song if you're interested. Okay. Should I introduce or you? Mercy. So, speaking of Weather Report, their amazing pianist, keyboard player was Joe Zawinul. And before he was with Weather Report, one of the groups he played was with Cannonball Adderley. And we were wondering what to do for a last tune. And I was listening actually to a Toronto, Canada jazz station. And all of a sudden, they played this next tune. I thought, perfect, this has got to be it. So you'll recognize it. This is by Joe Zawinul. B flat? Yep.
Thank you very much.
Once again, Michael Pillhopper on drums. Tim Dibbo on piano and keyboards.
Thank you. Mercy. Yeah, it was actually kind of a, Thank you. You got like my favorite seats in the house. Dance. Thanks, man. Appreciate you showing up. It's our first pleasure. Great. Action. So great. Well, come back and hear all the good stuff here too. Do come out to the jazz session.
Yes, thank you so much. Michelle and Dave.
Good to meet you. You look familiar. You look like somebody else I met who's comes up here. Some group I'm in with. Anyway, nice to meet you. Taking a chance and showing up. And
We're from the St. Cloud area.
oh, you are? Okay.
Drove in here on the
I get up to St. Paul once in a while. Well, I've got a gig up there or if you want to visit us or whatever.
Do you have someplace that you can follow?
No, right now, setting up kind of our social. So we'll eventually show you probably the WPK trio. To kind of remember that or take the card with.
I'm going to. Absolutely.
Good. Thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
So bad.